Modern Impressions How-To Articles. Today we will discuss printing booklets using Lanier printers. In order to do this, you will need a Lanier copier that has a booklet finisher attached to it. When making booklets, you may run into three different scenarios. First scenario you may run into is creating an 11 by 17 booklet from a letter size original document. Scenario 2 is creating just a letter size booklet. And in this way, I'm going to show you the correct way and the not so correct way. And then scenario 3, we're going to create a booklet from a previously paginated document that's going to be in landscape orientation. In scenario 1, your document size is letter, but you want it to be printed out on 11 by 17 ledger size paper. So you may be using Microsoft Word and you've created a multi-page document, for example, an 8-page document, and all of these pages are letter size. Once you've created this document, you will go to the print screen and select Print, and then choose Properties. Here, you will choose your document size as 8.5 by 11, but you want to print it on 11 by 17 paper. And then the booklet at the bottom of the print properties is magazine, and if you want it to be stapled, you would put to its center. You simply click OK, and then the document will be printed as you desired. Now for scenario 2, you just want to create a letter size booklet. Here we're going to show the correct way, then I'll show you the wrong way. The correct way. In Microsoft Word, the key is to start with a 5.5 by 8.5 original document size. You may notice that this is actually half the size of a letter size. So it makes the booklet making work out real nicely as far as the scaling. So what you want to do after you've set up your document as 5.5 by 8.5 in Microsoft Word or Publisher, for example, and you've got all your pages together, you will go to Print and select Properties. For your document size, you want to choose 5.5 by 8.5, and then you want to print it on letter size, which is 8.5 by 11. You want it to be a magazine, and you want to be to its center. You also notice the little picture that shows you an image of what the document would look like, and that should kind of look like what you expect. Let me spend just a minute showing you my least favorite way to create a letter-sized booklet, and you may call this the wrong way. In this method, you've already created a document and it's letter size, meaning 8.5 by 11. And then you're wanting to make a booklet, an 8.5 by 11 booklet out of this 8.5 by 11 multi-page original. So what you're doing here is your document size is 8.5 by 11. You're printing it on the same as original size, and of course it's a magazine and 2 staples at center. When you do it in this manner, it will reduce the size of the document, and the scaling will look wrong. You'll have too much margin space and your words would be really crammed in there. That's because the logarithm that the copier is trying to do to turn that 8.5 by 11 letter size paper and compress it into a smaller booklet form. This is the incorrect way to do it, and you probably will not be happy with the results. So I just wanted to show you this as the way not to do it. Sometimes you want to print a booklet and your document is kind of already in a booklet format from your computer. Oftentimes you will see this in Adobe Reader or Acrobat where you can choose the print booklet function, and Adobe Acrobat will kind of paginate your booklet for you. Sometimes you've already created a landscape size multi-page document and you've placed your panels, if you will, on each particular side of the page, and you just basically want to print and make it fold. Well, when you're doing it this way, you're not really making a magazine or a booklet. Simply what you will do is, you'll start with your document size, letter size, whatever size it is, and you'll be printing it on the same as original size. Key note is you want to make sure your orientation is in landscape mode, as you can see here on my print driver. And then you just want to create a two-sided document, tell it to open to the left, and then you'll tell it to put two staples in the center. So essentially, you've already created your document, and it's going to staple and fold it. This concludes printing booklets using Lanier printers. If you have any further questions, please contact the help desk. We'd be glad to help.